Today's project on the Fastback will hopefully be the the last nasty project I have to do. There's a considerable amount of rust inside this trunk here, and the main issue is the engine door. We got a little rust up here where you can see. I mean, that's an issue too, but mainly down here. The trough that holds the rubber, that actually holds the engine cover in place, is almost completely gone in some areas, so that's got to be fixed. The engine had to come out anyway because it's locked up, so at least that wasn't a wasted effort. Actually kind of a boost to get this project back going again. By the way everything was sitting, it looks like water probably leaked right down in through those carburetors. So I'm guessing that's why the motor is locked up. But as you saw, I had a bunch of motor pieces in the back there when I emptied the trunk out. And I've got a bunch more scattered about, so I've got enough to build a motor. It'll probably be a Franken motor. It's bits and pieces from everything, but as long as it works. So I think I caught this floor just in time, too much longer, and I might have had to replace the whole thing. But it's still pretty strong, but it was covered in a thick layer of surface rust. It had started to bubble up and just get gross. Fortunately, I cut up a square back maybe 15 years ago, and I didn't even have this car, but it dawned on me that I should probably keep this just in case. And in this instance, it actually worked out. I mean, where am I going to find one of these at? So, fortunately, well, two things. One, that I kept it, and then two, that I could actually find it now that I need it. So the replacement part isn't perfect either. It's got a few issues. So I'm working around that, and I'm working around the issues in the car, which right here is, you can see why I'm cutting it into an odd shape. But I made a rough cut, got it kind of close, and just kept cutting and grinding, easing up on that final placement. It's easier to cut more away than to add some in. And here it is right before I tack it. Most of it was pretty tight right there in that corner by the clamp. You can see I got a little carried away. Now this car is a 66, I think, and that trough is out of a 68 squareback, and they were a little different. The little edge closest to the inside of the engine was smaller. Now this right here, I had some rust holes right here on this curve, so I took a piece of copper and clamped it in place behind there and just kind of welded up against that copper, and it worked out real good. I think I'm going to do that again. But other than that, other than the little lip close to the engine, this engine trough was almost identical. So I did the same thing up here, made myself a replacement piece, which you just saw. Just slowly cutting away till I get it where I like it. I'll likely never be in there again, so I sprayed some rusty metal primer in there. Figured it couldn't hurt. And I had to cut a few reliefs in this to get it to take the shape. So there it is, all welded in and grounded down. And I'm just gonna use a little Bondo here. Down where the engine lid goes, I didn't use Bondo because hopefully we'll never see it. Put some carpet on it or some rubber. We'll never see it again. So I use seam sealer down there. I had some on hand and it seems to work well. And it's less work, so. And then hit everything with the rusty metal primer. And then just some gloss black, just to protect it. So here it is, all done. Got some paint on it, got the deck lid back on. It's already got dirty fingerprints on it from me. But it turned out okay. With the trunk closed, nobody's ever going to see it. And as long as it does the job it's supposed to do, it doesn't really matter. So if you remember that engine cover that I pulled out of here, it was in pretty bad shape, just like the floor. You can see some through holes right there, and this edge was rotted away. So I went scrounging through my stuff while I was waiting for Bondo to dry and paint to dry, and I found this. It's got a little surface rust, but other than that, it's in really nice shape. And it's the only other one I could find. So, I don't remember doing it, but I must have held on to it because it was my last one. It's always cool when you go picking through your own stuff and you find something you forgot about. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.